loves. So it's autumn, and I offer a facilitated cleanse every spring and every autumn. So it's time. I'm inviting you. I want to tell you a little bit about it. Basically, we're going to be working with a superfood nutritional protocol by Purium. You can look more into the full protocol and all the information about it below in the different links. What's most important to know about it is that the way that this protocol works is by filling your body with nourishment so that you cleanse from a place of nourishment. So it is a detoxifying reset, it is a realignment, but it happens through nourishment, and that is why I've worked with this company for so long, and that is why I choose it for myself, because it is really important that we cleanse through nourishment rather than depletion, right? So it's anti-inflammatory. You'll be working to rebuild the gut wall, which is also really important for immune resiliency. I think I said it's an anti-inflammatory. That's pretty huge for all of us, especially in this time. Because there's so much nourishment happening through the protocol, what happens is a lot of things just fall away effortlessly, including habits that are ready to go. So, on the level of diet and on the level of lifestyle habits, if it's time to break your sugar addiction, your alcohol addiction, if it's time to shift whatever you know you need to shift, to have greater vitality in your body, this will support you to do so with ease. That's been my experience anyway. So that's the Purium protocol. It's 30 days. You can, like I said, see a lot more information about that in the links. What I want you to know is that I've also created She Rises. So She Rises accompanies the Purium protocol, and it's free. So I obviously can't just give you all the products. I would if I could. And there are a couple of different options for you in terms of where your budget is. But She Rises I made for free as a gift and as a support because I know what kind of times we're in. So She Rises, it accompanies the 30 days. Every 3 days, it's a video module. And the modules, they're in two parts. One I call the creating modules, and the other I call the healing modules. So what's going to happen is throughout the 30 days, I'm going to be working with you around, the best word for it is a manifestation process, but I think that really doesn't do it any justice. It's the way that I've created everything, the school, my temples, my life, and it works with the same principle, nourishment. It works with aligning to effortless and resourced destiny rather than efforting, right? It's a really powerful process for getting clear about what it is that is actually emerging in you, what you are being called into creating, especially as so many things are falling apart and shifting. Getting clear about that and then actually engaging with it consciously, simply, but consciously, and moving into your destiny from a very different place than the place that many of us live and work and create from, which is often, unfortunately, adrenalized, depleted, stressed, pressured, right? And not necessarily resourced, which we really need to shift that if we're going to stay intact in the face of all that we're holding. So She Rises has that aspect of it, the creating modules, and then there are the healing modules. So I brought together basically the most simple and most potent techniques and tools that I've had to gather over time for regulating my nervous system, shifting my state from a state of stressed hypervigilance and false urgency into a state that is actually rebuilding, that is actually healing, that is actually nourishing. So in general, so that's what you can expect from the healing modules are techniques. Every 3 days, another simple technique that is going to help you work with your neurology, work with regulating your nervous system and regulating your whole state of being. In general, when you think about whether or not this would be the right thing for you, one thing to understand is that it's very intentionally on both a physical and an emotional, a neurological and a soul level. It's meant to shift from the catabolic to the anabolic. Catabolic is how we often live, a state of stress, which is ultimately breaking down the body, right? That's what a catabolic state is. And it's actually a normal state, unfortunately, for many of us. So we are shifting that state both physiologically through the Purium protocol and through our choices, the way that we're engaging our energy, the way that we are tending to our neurology, tending to our emotional state. And these are simple techniques and tools, but they're powerful. And we're going to shift to be anabolic, to even feel what that feels like as a compass point, as a foundational starting point and coming home point, as the place that we're used to, rather than the catabolic state, meaning an actual state in which the body, the emotions, everything can regulate itself, can come into restoration, can become resourced, and therefore much more aligned, much more actually of influence, right? But full rather than depleted. So that's She Rises. So She Rises is free. The 30 days is free. It accompanies the Purium protocol. You can see all the information below. Last spring, quite a handful of you did this with me last spring. And this time I'm bringing on a dear friend and mentor and student of mine, Natasha Neese. She is going to add an extra level of support that I felt like was a little bit lacking in the spring cleanse. So she's going to be holding weekly calls, just support calls. Just, do you have questions about the Purium protocol? Is something coming up in any of the practices that you're doing? Are you noticing, a realignment in your being that you want to talk through or have witnessed? So she's going to be holding weekly calls in that way. And also she'll be available to check in more one-on-one with you if you have something arising in the moment. She'll also be reaching out just to track you, just to stay in touch and add that extra level of support, which I think is really important for transformation, right? When we feel supported and resourced, it is so much easier to unfold into what it is that's actually in front of us. So we're starting. So today is October 1st. We're going to be it's going to be a little bit of, it's not like we're going to start on an exact date. Over the next couple of weeks would be the time to start. And then Natasha will be holding the calls and really holding the group over about the next 6 weeks. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can always reach me at support@hermysteryschool.com, and you can read through all the information. I've made you videos and links and all sorts of things. And if this is a good time for you, if you are feeling the need to cleanse and reset, but also nourish, this will be perfect for you. It's been amazing in my life. And if you want to feel that, the real regard for the full transformation that this could be, that yes, it is going to transform your body, right? It's going to help you shed excess. It's going to help you alkalinize and clean out and get more vital, right? And also that this, coupled with this She Rises program, we're going to be supporting all the many other aspects of you, so that at the end of the 30 days, the transformation has foundationally happened and it's a part of you now, right? And so that it can be sustained, right? Throughout our 30 days, we're going to stay sustainable, we're going to stay nourishing, and we're going to move out of the 30 days sustainable, nourished, and resourced in the place that we've all now found ourselves after 30 days of such deep regard and self-care. All right. If you're joining me, I look forward to it. Much love.